Welcome everybody to our team call for Tuesday, December 5th. Guys, we're in for a special treat tonight because when Gabby and I were at leadership last month, this girl took the stage, and I've heard of her, but I had never gotten the chance to hear her speak, and she was such a firecracker. And she got to talking about the way that she runs her challenge groups, and I was just like, oh my God, I totally need to implement some of that stuff in my business. So I reached out to her, and she's so sweet. She's so amazing. She's joining us tonight. She's a mom of 3, you guys. We were just talking about the Santa app, which she's telling us that we have to get. So, guys, she's a mom of 3 young kids. You know that she's definitely busy, definitely got her hands full. But listen to this. In 2.5 years of coaching, Kristina has reached the level of 6-star diamond coach in her first business center. 1-star diamond coach in her second business center. She is a Success Club 10 legend, and she is an elite coach. So guys, please do me a favor and give it up for Kristina. Take lots of notes because this is going to rock. Just her energy is going to rock. And also, Kristina, if you could add in a little bit about how you were able to achieve so much in 2.5 years, just real quick.
Okay. So first I have to say thank you because Audrey's like amazing, and she did a call on my team, and like literally like I saved it in my Facebook, and I don't know how to get it again, but I wish I could record it because it was like everything. Second, I have to apologize because I have a wicked sty in my eye. We don't know where it came from, and I've done every remedy possible and it won't go away. So cross your fingers, it'll be away tomorrow. So just don't look at the side of my face. So I just want to give you a little bit of feedback of where I come from, my story. So I have a health and fitness background, and so Beachbody to me was always gross. I wanted nothing to do with it. It seemed like to downgrade my education. The whole like at-home workout situation, Shakeology, just wanted nothing to do with it. I've been reached out to for over 4 years, and I actually pulled up a couple conversations from coaches reaching out to me, and every single time I either did the dip and I completely ignored them, or I would just respond with, oh my gosh, thank you so much for thinking of me, but that's just really not my thing, but thank you, and then just peace out as quickly as possible. So I just wanted nothing to do with it. And I got to a place where I had fertility issues with my kids. I have PCOS, I have thyroid issues, like the whole shebang. I was always very, very insecure with my body. And I was in the health and fitness field and just kind of felt fraudulent. And so I came to a point where after I had my boys, I was done breastfeeding, and my thyroid started really acting up, and just weight started coming on, and I felt out of control. I was on the beach one day with my kids in Florida, and my mom was taking pictures, and we got back, and I was sitting on the couch looking at the pictures, and I was mortified. I was so mad at my mom. So I'm like, why would you even take this angle? Like, do you not love me? I was so mad about it. And I sat there and I'm like, I'm deleting every single picture of me and my kids. Like, I'm getting rid of every picture with me and my kids. Like, that's crazy. And I was like, something has to change. At that moment, my coach strategically had reached out to me. I was like, girl, I need to get you on the phone. We need to chat about something. I'm someone that if you pinpoint me and get me on the phone, I will buy anything. Like, I own a $1,200 vacuum cleaner because I needed to get off the phone with someone. Like, I will buy anything. So I told my mom, don't let me buy this, like whatever you do. And my one son started crying, and so my mom went to go take care of him while I was on the phone. She came back, and I'm like, so I need your credit card and your social security number. I need to call my husband, get his credit card and his social security number, because she told me I need to hit Emerald, whatever that is, my business will start. So I was one of those coaches that, for one, because I had such this persona behind what Beachbody really was, and I had seen coaches do that Hail Mary post, where you throw a post out there and you're like, people are going to come running to me, and it gets like 2 likes, and it was like your aunt and your cousin, and then you just do this and you like peace out because you're like, that was humiliating. I'm going to fail at this. I totally suck at this. And you just peace out. I was determined not to be that. If I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it, and it doesn't matter what needs to happen. I'm going to be successful. Like, it doesn't matter how many times I fall, I will figure it out and be successful, because especially when I'm posting and stuff, I used to always think of those 2 people. You all have those 2 people in the back of your head that are judging you, and that you post something and you're like, don't really want them to know about this. I don't want them to judge me. I don't want them talking in the background. Those are the people I'm posting to, because those are the people that are going to end up enrolling. Those are the people that it's getting in their head, because I was that person. I was that person that scrutinized every before and after picture, was pissed at these people because they were seeing transformations, and I totally downgraded them. Like, let's see if you look like that in a month. Let's see if you show up in 2 months. That was me. So I'm posting to myself. So leveraging in, it took me 4 years to take this opportunity. So in my mind, I set from day one that, and I tell people this all the time, my coaches, think of the first time you ever saw anything Beachbody. I mean, you're probably dating back to 10 years, but let's talk just like challenge groups, reach outs, whatever on social media. It was probably a handful of years to the amount of time that you actually signed up. So from the first time you saw a post to the actual time you signed up, think of that time frame. And for me, it was over 4 years. So I know that I have to bust to make sure that I show up every single day, work as hard as I possibly can, because it's going to take me at least 4 years to find another me. And even if I have firecrackers, amazing coaches underneath me, which I do, I have to work until I get another me, till I turn somebody who had my thought process into a coach that's going to completely change their life. That is my job, because my coach did it for me without, I mean, she wasn't even someone, this was the first time she ever reached out to me. She just kind of hit the jackpot on that one at the right time and place. But for myself, that has been something that has driven me when things got hard, when the no's came rolling in. Those no's mean nothing. I was so many people's no until I turned into a yes. So for myself, that's one piece of advice I always try to give people is, who cares if people say no? Who cares? Like, how many times you go buy stuff and you, no. And then the 4th time, 5th time, 20th time, you say yes. And then it's something you're like, this is amazing. So for myself, it's just a non-negotiable. Success is non-negotiable. It's going to happen. But I don't want to take up too much time because I'm a total squirrel and I'll be all over. So I'm just going to go through how I funnel people into my challenge groups, and I call them boot camp. So if I go back and forth, that's why. But I utilize social media. I'm big time into social media. That's my jam. That's where I kind of came from in this whole thing. My kids were like, I don't want to say IG famous, but they were models on Instagram. So that's how my account actually initially got built. So I knew how to work Instagram, but not myself. Because to be honest, we have that followers app, get rid of it, because it's like the most disheartening thing when you see like friends and family unfollow you. It's really sad. But if I posted a picture of myself, because I branded it for my kids, if I posted a picture of myself, I'd lose like 100 followers in 12 minutes. It was like, it stuck. It stung, but I was diving down my niche market. So for me, social media has been my hub. And I had to figure out, how do I, one, not be a joke on social media, right? Because I judged every Beachbody coach that posted sweaty selfies and shaker cups every day. So I needed to figure out how to brand myself, set myself apart, and not be like the Stepford Beachbody coach that is duplicating everything down to the emojis and down to the graphics, like everything. I needed to set myself apart, because that's what's going to catch my eye, is someone who stands out and is doing something different. So I use my social media in all different ways. My Facebook like page is where it's like my garbage plate. Everything goes on there. Facebook, because only like 5% of your content is actually going to be seen, I throw as much as I can on there to get myself out there. Now I've cut back a lot because I have a larger following, and I know people are coming back, so I've scaled back my posts. But as a beginning coach, I was on there 3 to 5 times a day, bare minimum. Like, there was no way that algorithm was going to beat me. And I learned and I researched and everything I needed to grow my following. So Instagram I use for my pretty pictures. Instagram is something that you want to put your clean and crisp pictures on there that are eye-catching, that are going to be a quick tap, because people are just scrolling. You have 5 to 15 seconds to catch people's interest. So your pictures better be amazing on Instagram, and your content better be quick and catch people's eyes. And then IG stories is where I funnel all my invites. I'm very uncomfortable posting invites on social media because those are my lower traction posts. When you post something and you're like, oh, my house is all a mess, or I'm eating pizza, and your like account blows up, and then you're like, who wants to actually like get in sick shape, feel amazing, and roll into 2018 being like full of energy? And it's like 2 people. You're like, that stunk. That other post with pizza like got like 300 likes. So for myself, I have utilized IG stories as my focus for invites. And then so I throw different content everywhere, because if you're copying and pasting things on Instagram and Facebook, what's the point of people following you on both? They only need to follow you on one. You're posting the exact same stuff. So I kind of move things around as far as that goes. Then all my invites are over there, right? So what are you inviting to? So I do everything to a link, and I do my woohoo form, whatever. So from there, I have a conversation with people. From that conversation, where I have this like no man left behind, where, if someone says no and we're just like, okay, I'll follow up. I don't want that, because I want your loyalty, I want your trust, and I want to add value too. So I have a 4-step process from this. So I have like everything written down so that I don't like squirrel all over. So the first thing that I want to get you either enrolled into is my Epic Shred Bootcamp. I have branded my bootcamp. It's called Epic Shred. So I don't call it a challenge group. I don't call it a bootcamp. I don't call it what everybody else calls it. I call it Epic Shred. That way people can inquire, what is Epic Shred? And then I can go into it. And then they're already hook, line, and sinker before they even know it's a Beachbody thing, that they already have a thought process of what it really is. So I highly suggest branding what your actual challenge groups are called, because then it's different. It's not what everybody else is calling it. The second thing, if they say no to that, is getting them into an event so they learn more about my Epic Shred, because my events that I host every single month on Facebook, it's on the top of my page, it's always pinned there, is an event to go in that's a sneak peek into Epic Shred. So, because if I'm someone that if you were like, oh, come join my boot camp, I want to know everything about it before I invest $1. So I know that I attract people that want more information, so I give them that sneak peek in that event. And then they say no to that, then hey, guess what? I want you in my free group. I have an Epic Fit Club. I dive in there once a month for about 5 days, right about the time that I need to enroll people. It's usually the last week of the month, so I can enroll people in that first week, hit off Success Club, be done with it. So I strategically time it so that I have them invited into the Epic Fit Club. It's open all year round. Again, I dive in there for the 5 days. It's someplace that's, you know, there's no anything where it's like I have to purchase anything, I have to do anything. It's like, dude, if you are really going to say no to a free group, like that's just like crazy to me. But if they even say no to that, I'm still not letting them go. I give them a graphic, and it's a 5-day challenge, you know, like Meatless Monday, No Treat Tuesday, Workout Wednesday, Thursday, Pop-Up Friday, something. And I'm just like, hey, you came to me, you had goals, I'm now invested in you. And so I want to make sure that you hit those goals. I'm not going to let you give up on yourself, and I want you to know that I'm that coach that's going to help you get to those goals. So here's a 5-day challenge. Reach back out to me on Friday. Let me know how you did. If they don't follow up, guess what? I follow up with them. Hey, how did you do? You know what? I didn't even do it this week. Great. Do it on Monday. I'm going to follow you up with next Friday. So it's that constant way that like no one gets left behind. There's a place for every single person, no matter what's going on. So leading into my actual like Epic Shred Bootcamp is I'm very big, like I've never been in a challenge group. I have no idea what one looks like. I've asked to be in a couple people's just so I could see. And the ones that I was in, I'm someone who's like, well, I'm going to do it better. That's just me. That's my personality. And for myself, I'm not someone that will show up in a boot camp. I'm not someone that comments. I'm not someone that likes. I'm that behind the scenes. I'm probably doing it behind the scenes, but I'm not going to show up on the page because I don't want to be judged. I'm very insecure in that way. So I know that I attract people like that. So for myself, it drives me mad, and I'm sure you guys too, to have a challenge group that is Cricketville. And you reach out to people and they're like, yep, I'm doing it, or oh, I'm trying, or I swear I'm in there, like blah, blah, blah. But they're not posting anything on there. And you're like, I'm doing so much work and there's nothing going in here. Drives me mad. So I'm like, I have to figure out a way to get people to show up. So I had to think to myself, what would get me to show up? What type of challenges would get me to show up? What type of challenges would fire me up? What type of things would get me to be interested in the first thing that I want to do in the morning is see what's going on? What type of community do I have to fill up to get these people? So I'm not even running the boot camp. I'm putting out the content. They're running it. And that's kind of was my goal to begin with, is I don't want just a challenge group, people to show up and blah, blah, blah. I want a community. I want people to be, it's like that cool kid table, and you don't want to leave. You don't want to get out. So the two things that corporate love that I was doing that I'll share here is I have 2 different boot camps. I have my Epic Shred, which is my all-in boot camp, and then I have my self-paced boot camp, and that's what I call it. I just call it self-paced. And that in itself gets people scared. So the reason I do the 2 is because, I don't want to leave anyone behind. I require Shakeology Daily Sunshine or the Performance Line, aka I require everybody to be active in my boot camp. Reason being is, 1, we need active coaches, and people like to take advantage of us if they're not active and give us all the excuses. What it comes down to is they're not committed. And I'm not talking financially, I'm talking your goals. If you are not drinking Shakeology every day, if you're not drinking the Performance Line, if you're not drinking something that's going to keep you in your mind like that click, like, oh my gosh, I'm committed to something, because I can tell you if you start your day with Shakeology, you are going to feel bad later if you eat something crappy. Even if it felt amazing, like I eat pizza, I eat junk food, like whatever, it's going to be something in your mind that's like crap. Or at least you can say, I at least fueled myself with something that's going to give me all the nutrients, minerals, vitamins, everything that I need. So for myself, that was something that I didn't know how to require people to, like, oh, you have to have Shakeology. Like, it's so tacky to say to someone, and you just feel gross and icky and like a salesperson. And you're not. You're valuing them, and they should be valuing you and your time, and you want them to get results. And guess what gets you results? Shakeology. Like, I'm sorry, it does. And if you don't believe that, you need to think about your business hard and think about what you're promoting and what you're doing, because that's the hub of our business, because bare none, that helps with get results. If you do nothing else, my mom is a prime example. She doesn't touch it. She swears she works out now. She's drank Shakeology. She's a small frame person anyways, and she's seen incredible results simply on Shakeology. So that's what's made me so passionate, is she is the product of the product and what can happen if you just drink it. So for myself, I set up those 2 boot camps. So when someone gives me kickback, I have to delay, I have too much, whatever their excuse is, no problem, girl. I'm going to throw you in the self-paced boot camp. You let me know when your next order comes in, and we're going to plug you back in. And they'll even say, like, oh, they send me pictures of their stockpile. That's great, girl. Why do you have a stockpile? I want you to chug that shit as much as you, sorry, I swear. Chug it as much as you can. I don't care if you have to have it 2 times a day. You do what you got to do. I want you back into this all-in boot camp. And what happens when they get into that self-paced boot camp is crickets. I call it the Walking Dead, because that's what it is. I post the same content. It's just a week behind, and it's nothing is going on over there. I chime in there every so often. I'm always 100% there if they want to work with me one-on-one, if they come to me, if they tag me, anything. I do not shun them, anything like that. I just don't put my time and energy as much in there as I do in my all-in boot camp. My all-in boot camp is blown up at all times. They're constantly, and if they don't, I'm coming for you, and I'll get to that in a second. But that's a distinguishable point that I've done, that way everybody has a place to go. I'm not turning my back on anyone. No one can ever say that I'm not providing value, because I am, but it's your choice whether you're committed or you're not. And I get people all the time, and if I see them that they're really fired up and they're showing up all the time in that self-paced boot camp, usually I invite them back over into, I'm like, girl, you need to get in here because you're too fired up. Like, we need you in here. We need your energy. And what happens, they see everybody that's on Shakeology posting their shaker cup selfies, and they're like, oh, okay, girl, I'm enrolling back. No one's ever been offended. No one's ever been upset. They have come to me and like, oh, no, please, I don't want to go in there. I'm like, girl, you did this to yourself. I didn't do it to you. I didn't tell you to go in there. And it's kind of become a running joke where it's not like you have to go in here. It's kind of like, and when someone says, I think I'm going to jump over to self-paced for a hot minute, like people will chime in, no, don't leave. Don't go over there. So it's kind of been like the dead man zone where it's like, dude, you go over there, you're like in quicksand. Don't do it. So if you make it fun, if you make it different, if you make it you and your style, your people are going to connect with that, and it's going to be fun. That's my big thing, is everything has to be fun. If I'm bored, they're bored. If I go into my challenge group and I'm like annoyed scrolling, and I just find myself liking and not commenting on anything, and there's nothing fun and drag, I'm going to whip up a challenge real quick, and I'm going to start calling people out to make it happen. I just did the other day, like, hey, we all need to have a dance party. I need you to throw a 30-second clip of your dance party on there. And when only like 2 people did it, I started tagging people. And I'm like, if you don't come on here, I'm coming for you. And I will hit up your inbox, and I will come to you, and I will keep calling you out, and it's just a funny thing in our group where they're like, I don't want to get called out. Like, I have no problem. If you make me scroll through and figure out who showed up and who didn't for like a solid hour, it's going to be a big call out, and it's going to be fun. So for myself, different challenges for me that would get me waking up is, and I mentioned some of these, is think of something you don't like doing: a donkey kick, a burpee, a jump squat, jumping jacks, like something that's higher intensity that nobody likes doing, especially first thing in the morning. My challenges all go up at 4 a.m. because I have a couple of 4 a.m.ers. So they know that every single day there's going to be a challenge. So every single day there's something to come on to. And when I first started, it was, okay, Meatless Monday. And I just saw like traction just started depleting because they knew what was coming up. It's the same thing every week. My people don't resonate with like inspirational quotes. That does nothing for them. So for me, it had to be an actual action. And everything for me requires a picture. Because think about it, when you're going through social media, you don't stop for words, you stop for pictures. So I want to see pictures, and I want to see raw and real. I don't want to see filters. I don't want to see any of that crap. And if you do filter, I'm calling you out. Nobody looks that good after a workout, and if you do, you didn't work out hard enough, so you need to do another one. And I'll go on there, and I'll be like, hey, here's a 3-minute high-intensity workout, go. Drop your sweaty selfie afterwards, and don't fix your hair before you do it. And just keeping things real like that. But one of the challenges I do is I'll send them all a message. I do everything on Challenge Tracker. So I'll send them a message at the end of the night and just say, hey, you better wake up early in the morning, wing face. Or, something along that line, so they're like, crap, what is this? And it might be something where the first person who sees it types 1, they do 1 burpee. The next person who sees it types 2, they got to do 2 burpees. And you got to post a sweaty selfie after. And if your face isn't red, I'm going to call you out because there's no way you did 74 burpees and you're like fresh as a daisy. Different things like, Tag someone who's really been supportive to you this boot camp. Tag someone who's shown up, you've seen a lot. Tag someone who's, different ways to recognize. I'm a big recognition person, so I know my people are. Different way to recognize each other and get those bonds. My job as a coach in a challenge group boot camp atmosphere is to create relationships. Because what's that going to do? It's going to get people that when one jumps over to coach, wait, I want to coach too. Like if she can coach, I can coach. We're buddies. Getting them to tag team partners, doing a scavenger hunt right now for Christmas is great. Like, hey, here's 10 different things. What, a candy cane, a Santa, a Christmas thing, a blow up at Lowe's, like make them go to destinations and say like, drop a plank in front of these and post it. It is so funny to be like, throw something random, like, hey, in the produce section in the grocery store, drop to a plank and get a selfie of it. When someone does it, that traction is going to go up because people are going to be like, oh my God, you just did that. That was so funny. I'm going to go do it. And there's that competitive nature of just making it fun. And you want people to keep coming back and checking in. You want it to be this just group of just like a party. One person described, I said, if someone were to ask you what you describe this boot camp is, and I challenge you guys to ask your people, somebody asked you what this boot camp is, how would you describe it? And a few people were like, it's like an underground fit club. It's like you literally roll in here. You don't know what's going to happen. It's like the party you've always wanted to be invited to. And I was like, that is the best definition. That means I did my job because that's the type of boot camp I would show up for. Now, if my style isn't your style and you're someone who's more sensitive and you're someone who's more of a hand holder and you're someone who's, very, I'm not saying I'm not supportive, but someone who's, overly supportive with someone, then don't do my style because it's going to turn your people off. You need to do what connects with you. What is going to get you to hit your goals? What's going to get you to show up? What is going to get you fired up? And figure that out and implement that in your boot camp. Because I see so much duplication in this business, and I think certain systems should be duplicated. You yourself are not duplicatable. You are authentic. That is the one thing you have going for you in this business is that you're unique. We all sell the same challenge bags. We all have the exact same promotions to offer. The only thing that's different from somebody signing up from Audrey than to myself is our personalities of what people have learned from us through social media, of who we are, what we've presented our boot camps to be, what sneak peeks we've given people, what results we've shown coming out of that. That's what gets people's intrigue. Not the fact that the all access pass is $160 is on promo. They don't care about that. They want to get that vibe. They want to be a part of something. Myself, I attract people who are sick of talking to the UPS man for the only social interaction they have during the day, because that was me. So they plug into this. This is like human interaction. They don't want to have to get out of this. They're not going to quit on their goals, even if they're on that roller coaster of every month in and out. They keep coming back because they want to be a part of something. That's your job to create that. That's something that's going to keep you excited in the business, that when things are really, really hard, when you've got a pile of no's underneath you and you're like, I can't plug anybody else in my boot camp and I'm really, really sad about it because I'm not going to hit Success Club this month, roll into there and be like, put up a challenge of, hey, what has this boot camp meant to you this month? Post your very first before picture to where you are now. That as a coach will inspire the crap out of you because you get to see what you were responsible for. You get to see, like, on days that I'm really down and out, that's something I'll do, like, hey guys, I need the new guys to see what you're capable of in here. Drop your very first before picture and work what you've changed since then. That selfishly is something for me to sit back and be like, wow, because I provided this kick-ass boot camp, these people were able to, capable of doing that. For me, that's what fires me up. That's what makes me so passionate about this business. That's what gets me when times are tough. I don't care because I'm responsible for some amazing transformations. I'm responsible for amazing ones to come forward, and I'm going to keep evolving in my boot camp. Last thing I'll just throw out here, and I know I'm missing like 5 million things that I thought I was going to talk about. A couple different things, but I change the theme every single month. That's really big for me because if you offer the same style every single month, you're attracting the same people. If you do a self-love boot camp one month, if you do a high-intensity spring training boot camp the next month, if you do a, hey, let's get over our insecurities here, hey, let's focus on abs, all those different things are going to intrigue different people that are going through different things. Hey, we're all new moms. We're going to focus on how we can eat and keep up our breast milk supply. Different things are going to trigger different people, and you're going to interest different people to do things. A couple different things that I offer that's a little bit different because, again, I want my boot camps to step aside, and I don't just want to say, hey, I got this place and everyone gets sick transformations. Real quick, I have my live workouts, which I'm an actual certified personal trainer and fitness instructor, so I do live workouts with my team that I just hit up like a 10 to 15 minute HIIT workout. We all go on a Zoom call and we just bust it out, and it's something that's different and fun for everybody. I do a boot camp happy hour, so it's not just us on the computer talking back and forth, but we go on Zoom. We just chat, celebrate our successes, talk about our struggles, what's upcoming, what are we working with, funny stories, and it's just a way to put that human interaction to it. And I'm telling you, if your people are loyal, they're not going to quit. If they become your best friends and everyone's friends with them, they're not going to quit. The daily challenges I mentioned and the giveaways. I'm very scarce with my giveaways now because your time and money is valuable. So for myself, I used to give away things left and right because I thought that's what get people to show up. It's not. It's just a nice perk at the end of it. So if you do a giveaway, make it something that you don't feel like is a burden to do a giveaway. Like I have like 15 shaker cups behind me that I need to mail out from like October's boot camp because I suck at mailing things. But I was like, oh, I'm going to do this. I hate the mail. I hate the mail with passion. So I like Amazon gift card. Woo! So do what is you. Be yourself. Be authentic. Figure it out. Have fun. Revamp. Restyle. Do everything that you possibly can to make this fun for you and make it fun for them. I think I'm done.
Girl, that was so good. And then when you said about, sometimes we need inspiration and asking them to put in how far they've come, I know that sets our souls on fire. I know that's what gets us going. And it also invigorates them and everyone else that's watching in the group. And thank you for that. That's a really great tip. Do you guys have any questions for Kristina? I know Rosie looked like she was like all in.
I have a question. Thanks so much. That was really super helpful.
Oh, good.
When you say that on the Instagram stories that you invite, do you invite to the coaching opportunity through there, or do you just convert those in your groups to?
So I always throw little jabs out, whether it's like a poll, like have you ever thought about doing what I do, things like that, and polls and reaching out. Most of mine, I'll be like brutally honest, I really stink at the transition from somebody who has nothing to do with Beachbody, like they don't know what it is, to a coach. That's something that I struggle with, and I'm like open and honest with that. So most of my people actually come from challenge groups, because once a month in the challenge group, it's the third weekend when people are feeling those results and seeing the changes. I always throw the coaching opportunity out there, like, hey guys, we're going to need to get on a call because so many of you are showing up. You're totally rocking it out. You probably have misconceived notions of what coaching actually is, and you need to know what it's about. And even if you aren't interested, the fact that you read all the way to the bottom of this post means you are, so you need to be on this call. So I'll do that. But IG stories, I invite every single day to either coaching or the boot camp, one way or the other, whether it's like the swipe up and do the application, or here's a poll feature, one way or the other, there's an invite every single day on there, like bar none.
Awesome. And when you have that week 3 call about the coaching opportunity, is it just you? Do you do it with anyone else, or it's just you kind of chatting about what you do every day, or what is it?
Because I have an actual like group for like, sneak peek into coachings, and I think it's called like No BS Sneak Peek, because that's me. And my whole team can funnel in there, and we on there, I constantly change it up because again, it intrigues different people. So sometimes it might be an event in that actual page where my coaches are going live. I personally don't break things down about the coaching opportunity. I don't talk about the income. I don't talk about any of that stuff. I talk about the vibe. I want my coaches to go on there and tell their story. I tell my story, and if people have questions, they can come to me. But if someone's coming to me, and this is just me, someone's coming to me and they want to know the breakdown of the comp plan, and I'll like say straight up, like, you know what, I just don't think my team's the right fit for you. I'd love to have you in my boot camp and crush your goals, and then maybe you'd be interested in the coaching opportunity from there. But my team just isn't. We don't lead with the forefront of the money that's going to happen, and I don't even understand the comp plan, so I can't even break it down for you. I'm honest about it. But for myself, I have no idea. Like, when someone told me the back office, I was like, will someone tell me where this back office is? Because I thought it was like something secret. I don't know. Like, I'm really bad. I know how to sign people up. I know how to get you results. And that's what I know how to do.
I'm just like that. I have a question for you, Kristina. Do you do this with your team, or you've shown them to do the same with their challenge groups?
I do my team, because we are such a young team, and I kind of catapulted right out of the gate. I don't really have those type of leaders yet. So I have very apprehensive, and I'm a solid hand holder, which is really bad when it comes to my team. I'm working on that. Like anytime you guys want to like yell at me about it, it's fine. So I typically have run everything. I've been trying to get them to step out of their comfort zone and do things more. But I also know what it's like to be, thrown to the wolves, and it's like sink or swim, and I don't want them to sink. So I do everything with them and try to give them some type of duty to do with it. But whether it's like a call and, hey, share your story, or an event, hey, share your story, something like that, just to get them to go live and talking. I think that's huge. But I'm constantly, whether it's, one-on-one, whether it's me just sending a video, whether it's, whatever it is, it's always different and inviting to the actual coaching opportunity.
Got you. Does anyone have any questions? All right, girl, that was awesome. I'm sure we'll get questions later when everyone else watches, but thank you so
shoot
much.
Me any messages, and just excuse the eye.
I didn't even notice that. All right, good night, everybody, and thank you again so much.
Thank you. No problem. Have a good night.